Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Join us for the latest in news, views, and conversation with community leaders. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well-Dressed Walrus, Spokane Firefighters Local 29, Creative Music Learning Center, and North Idaho Events. Now, put your finger on the Pulse of Spokane.
Well, welcome to the first Pulse program of 2020. I don't know about you, but I've been mentioning next year, meaning 2020, and realizing we've actually are finishing our first week of 2020. I don't know where the time's gone. It goes faster as you get older. Wait till you get my age, it'll be really super fast. Hey, we've got a couple of very interesting and good guests today. Jeremy McGee from Zerorez and a couple of other companies. He's just an entrepreneur all over the place and doing great things. And then Diane Gardner from Tax Coach for You is going to talk about your business, your income tax, how to be prepared, how to be smart about all of that. Next on the Pulse of Spokane.
Think of North Idaho Events as your business development advisor. We produce events of all kinds: trade shows, themed expos, fundraisers, corporate workshops, and more. We will discover the most appropriate event that your company can most opportunistically shine. We provide the platform to feature local businesses in front of a high quantity of their ideal customer. Share your story with April Howard over a cup of coffee so she can most appropriately guide you and your business into new heights and create a most mutually beneficial relationship.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well-Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Well, welcome back. I'm pleased to have someone I've known for about 7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
And he still talks to me. I mean, not everybody that I've known that long still talk with me. Jeremy McGee with Zerorez, and Happy New Year to you to start with.
You as well, Ken.
Right. You've been involved with some of the things that we've done in the past when we've done some house-to-home projects with Good Samaritan and so forth. And your care for the community is always out there. I see that. But tell me about Zerorez and starting that, and where are you now? It's a little different than 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, I started when I was 23 years old, and it's over 17 years ago. So
you're old.
Things have changed. It was just me in a van, cleaning carpets, and
yeah.
I didn't really know.
You didn't start out as president and commanding people to do all those things?
I think you hold the title when you start.
Yeah.
Okay. You talk to yourself a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just started very, very small and humble, and a lot of alone time for the first couple years. But over the course of the last 2 decades, we've grown a really good business. We have over 40 people on staff in Spokane.
Wow. Okay. Congratulations.
Then,
That's good.
It's a good thing. We moved into a new building maybe 3 years ago, and it's about 21,000 square feet right on the freeway.
Wait, 21,000?
Yeah.
A lot of cleaning supplies there.
It's got a whole lot of vans.
So. A lot of vans too.
Yeah, a lot of people going in and out.
Yeah.
We do different services from cleaning carpets to air duct cleaning and hard surfaces. So we have different crews, commercial carpet cleaning, that do different things, and they're in the building at different times. So there's just a lot of different spots where the business is now than where it was then. It was very simple. It was just me. Not a lot could go wrong.
Right.
But also it was limited. The scope, the impact was smaller.
Sure.
So even now, the ability for us to go and do jobs that we don't charge for, or working on big projects with a nonprofit, we can send
a couple crews.
Yeah, send a bunch of people all at the same time and knock something out that would would have took me days to do alone. So you know, there's lots of benefits on that end.
Yeah. What advice do you have for some of the young people today, back young meaning 23 years of age and so forth, for starting their own business and doing what you've done? What advice would you give them?
Oh, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is, you know, you can get passionate about anything as long as it's driving something in the vehicle that it is. Like for me, like carpet cleaning probably wasn't the most interesting thing, or might not be the most sexy thing. It's not out of other businesses I own, but it was a vehicle for me to do something great with my employees or with the community, and so don't get caught up so much on what it is. The mechanics of running a business.
But find the passion.
Yeah, behind the business and what it does, not necessarily what it is. And I think people get caught up. Well, I gotta love every aspect about what I do, and guess what? That really probably doesn't exist.
No.
So don't get caught up on what you're doing. It's how you're doing it and who you're impacting.
I'm thinking the last time we really talked was a couple of years ago, and I think you had less than a dozen trucks, and now you're at 40.
Well, 40 employees. We don't have
employees,
40.
okay.
But across the system, with the other franchises I own, you know, they're just different sizes and different scopes of where they're at in their stages. So we started Eugene a few years back, and it has 5 or 6 employees. And then I invested in a franchise in Minneapolis, and that has over 100 employees.
Wow.
So they're just different size, different times. Spokane was the 3rd franchise in the Zerorez system, though. So it's kind of this jewel.
So they learned a lot from what
in Zerorez.
You're being in the field and so forth, didn't they?
Yeah, and being a part of a franchise is unique. It's different. They're not competitors to you, so we get to sit down as franchisees and talk about, hey, these are their challenges. This is where we're finding success.
Right.
And you have this community where you get to help each other, and it's not, I'm not going to talk to you about how I'm doing well because I don't want you to. So there's a unique thing within franchising that you don't get in some of these standalone businesses or some of the startups that I started that aren't part of it. So it's a little different there.
Right. I'm going to guess, and correct me and inform us, all of us that are watching, you get a lot of early entries into your business, meaning coming from high school, coming from college, maybe you've been in the workforce for a little bit more. What do you instill in them because we've all heard about, that first job, you're not going to be the president of the company, you're not going to make 6-figure numbers and so forth. But what do you instill in them to have them become part of your Zerorez?
Well, what we hope is them gaining some independence in their life, and some autonomy in what they do. This isn't a job where we send them out and we have to micromanage every part of the process. We teach them what to do. We give them the right training, the right resources, and we let them go and do their work. And so for them, they get to do something without having somebody all over their case all day long. Yeah. So that's really
being on the assembly line down the row.
And they just get to learn life skills. They get to implement those skills, and it's a very hands-on job in the field. So they're not behind a desk. So a lot of our technicians really enjoy that aspect, and they have the freedom to do things that they wouldn't do in other jobs. And a lot of that comes down to having the autonomy to give. Having the autonomy to be able to make decisions and solve problems without going to
I have
the boss.
To call up Jeremy and check to see if it's okay.
So there's a high level of trust, and they're really, really hard workers that are trained to do a really, really good job. So
do most of them stay on, or most of them move on within what you're doing, or
there's a variance. There's some techs that have been with us for over 7 years, and this is kind of where they find their place, and they add value, and they're great employees, and they have great lives and have families. And then there's some that have different kind of career goals, and this might be a 2 or 3 year part of their move forward. We've had a couple technicians that have gone on to open businesses in Spokane or create regional.
Do you get a certain delight when you see that happen?
Yeah, because they always come back and talk to us about how it's going, or they
Yes.
call me, and that's always fun
Because once you're family, you're family.
yeah, and there's an entrepreneurial spirit to
Yeah.
being a technician because of that independence, and
Yes.
so a lot of our techs go on to do other really good things, and Zerorez was a progression in that,
Yeah.
and not something they look back and say, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And you get a few of those, but majority is people do stay in contact with us,
Good.
and we have people that ebb and flow seasonally.
Yeah, good. My guess is that they learn a lot from you and your senior management and all of that.
Yeah, and we learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
Every 5 years, it seems like a different style of person comes into the workforce, and they bring different things
Sure.
that improve the business
Yes.
and challenge the business in some ways.
Yeah.
But
I get that a lot here from my younger
I noticed
tech
that
guys.
you got some youth
You
in the
know,
building.
well, yes, and well, Jeremy, anything under 60 is youth to me, okay? But I mean, the fact is, well, Kent, this is better than what I learned and what I learned in broadcast and in past experiences 30, 40 years ago, 20 years ago. We're at lightning speed now, and it's changed and is changing, and so they're constantly on that. And in fact, they're the ones that really help set up our new design here and so forth. So it's fun working with much younger folks. How can before I was going to ask you how can people get in touch with you, which is pretty simple, but you also do two other companies. You help start Beard Brand.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I've heard the story, but it's a great one.
Well, it started as a content business, and it really is a resource for men to groom and feel good about how they carry themselves. I think we're over 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube.
Are you kidding me?
It's
Wow.
really this place for men to go and see, hey, how can I get more confidence? How can I be a better person? And we provide products along with those that content that allows men to feel good about who they are. And beards is a thing,
Yeah.
And the brand itself has moved on to hair products and grooming tools and all kinds of things. But most of all, just a lot of good advice happens within the YouTube channel and within the company to spread the mission of what we're trying to accomplish, and that's help men be better men.
Right. Good for you. Good for you. And then you also helped start and co-started the workshop, the
wood shop.
The wood shop. Yes.
Yeah, so we have a marketing agency downtown.
Yes.
We've had a lot of success in Zerorez with different endorsements and different ways we market and help get the message out of what makes Zerorez different.
Yep.
So I've had a lot of influence and time around a lot of people marketing, and one of those people was Tony Baird.
Yep.
And so we started an agency together 4 years ago, and we're up to about 10 people in the office there. And
I think that's a terrific story.
So we do some nationwide stuff, and then we do some local stuff with some brands here in Spokane. And so we do branding, marketing, advertising, and it's just an awesome environment for me to go every day and be involved in the creative of that. And that, I think, helps me a lot in my other partnerships and the other businesses.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question, excuse me, that I ask most business owners. Are you having fun?
Oh, yeah, every day. I mean, I couldn't imagine not doing what I do.
Yep.
Especially with the business partners I have and the teams I have. It's a blast. There's ups and downs, but
Of course there
overall,
are.
I couldn't imagine not owning a business. It'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned to you before, I've used you oftentimes as an example of an entrepreneur who's figured out how to do it, but you're probably still figuring it out. Aren't we all?
Every day.
Every day, maybe twice a day even sometimes, right? Zerorez, how can they get a hold of you?
Our website's probably the easiest
Yep.
way. So zerorezspokane.com. It's really simple to schedule a job, find out information. We have some specials on air duct cleaning and carpet right now. It's a great time to get it done because usually this is the lowest prices we have.
Okay,
We actually do a retro price right now where we go back to the price that we had in 2003.
Oh, okay.
So it's $89.95 for 3 rooms.
I'm going to tell my wife, remember that. Get on.
So you have to schedule it this. You have to schedule it this month, and then our air duct offer is really good and competitive, and those tend to get overlooked because you don't look down on them, you don't see what's in them. Makes a huge impact in your air quality and what you're breathing.
Yeah. And I'll tell you from experience, because your people have been out many times, is you got good people.
Yeah.
And I hear it from my wife every time that they're really nice and so forth. So, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ken.
you for being a leader here in Spokane too.
You bet, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about economics, about your economics, right after this.
Here at Creative Music Learning Center, we are dedicated to your learning no matter where you are on your journey. Whether you are a beginner, a casual player, or need some brushing up on technique, we are here for you. When you begin lessons with us, our teachers take the time to understand what kind of learner you are and how we can help you further your knowledge, offering a variety of instruments including piano, guitar, voice, violin, and more. We are here and ready to get started with you.
I had no idea how to be an adult, let alone a mom. I grew up in over 20 foster homes, so I partied to escape. I wanted to change, but I had no idea what to do. UGM showed me that healing begins with the heart, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. My kids and I started over with a whole new foundation. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
Think of North Idaho Events as your business development advisor. We produce events of all kinds: trade shows, themed expos, fundraisers, corporate workshops, and more. We will discover the most appropriate event that your company can most opportunistically shine. We provide the platform to feature local businesses in front of a high quantity of their ideal customer. Share your story with April Howard over a cup of coffee so she can most appropriately guide you and your business into new heights and create a most mutually beneficial relationship.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
Well, welcome back. Diane Gardner. We've talked before, and you've been on a radio show we did a few years back and so forth. You've got a couple of surnames out there, tax coach for you, and what else?
That's my main one.
Main one? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I just knew you could email you at different places.
Oh, I
and
have,
so-
yes.
You have lots of emails? Okay, so you can ignore me on some, right? That's how it goes.
Would never do that to you, Ken.
No, right? How are you?
Doing wonderful.
All right, are you ready for this year?
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
something's coming up in a couple months. What is that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What does your week look like or days look like as you start to get closer to April?
They get longer and longer and longer.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And I start looking like I've got bags under my eyes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, gee.
yeah.
Yeah, but let's go back and maybe talk. I'd like to talk about some of the tax things that are changing, and they're continuing to change as every day. I get that, but I think a lot of what you do is coaching people and talking to people so that when it comes time to do their taxes, they've done what's important to get to that point. My guess is not to pay more tax, but to pay less.
You bet. Yes.
Okay.
I work with successful entrepreneurs
Okay.
here locally and all across the U.S.
Really? Great.
So I get the privilege of coming in and making a big difference in their life.
Yeah.
By just walking along beside them, setting up a plan, teaching them if we make certain strategic moves, we can knock thousands and sometimes tens or hundreds of $1,000s off of their tax bill.
Yeah. And so you're doing that with what, medium-sized and small businesses primarily?
Primarily, I like $1 million to $10 million.
Okay.
Because
Well, it counts
that's a
me out
nice
for right
sweet
now. No,
spot.
I'm kidding. But what are some of the first things you want to know about them before you get into walking with them and solving their problems? Because my guess is that you have to learn a lot.
Yes.
To really,
I do.
When you say walk beside them, you need to know what's going on and be part of that company, if you will, right?
You bet.
Yeah.
Yes. When somebody first reaches out to me, we send them a short little questionnaire so I
Okay.
can kind of get to know them a little bit.
Right,
I
right.
want to know how long they've been in business, what's their gross annual revenue, what's their net profit, how many employees do they have.
What, people make profits?
Yes, in my world they do.
Okay.
Because if they don't, then I do profit planning with them. And we grow them into tax planning.
All right, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes, yeah. But we're looking for those, successful entrepreneurs, mainly in the service business field.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't know how to do manufacturing and costing and inventory. I don't know how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't,
Well, and there are people that do. Let them do
Yeah,
that.
let them do it,
It
yeah.
doesn't sound quite as exciting, honestly.
No,
Okay.
I get to play with the good stuff. I get to be a tax superhero
Okay.
and swoop in and save the day.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
love that.
What's the first thing you ask them?
The very
you
first
sit
thing
down
I
with
ask them, I need to find out, are they an action taker
Okay.
or are they just a tire kicker?
Okay.
Because those are two completely different kinds of
Okay,
people.
explain the difference. Okay. I think I kind of know, but explain the difference.
We get tire kickers all the time,
Yeah.
and they just kind of want to know about my company, and they want to pick my brain
Okay.
multiple times.
Right.
And they don't ever seem to get in gear and go. I want somebody who's going to say, wow, this is really cool information. How can I apply it in my business? And
Okay.
let's do it now.
Okay.
And so that's a big difference between an action taker
Yeah.
and a tire kicker.
And you want the action.
I need the
takers.
action takers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because,
the others would drive you nuts, wouldn't it?
well,
You know.
just between you and me,
Yeah. No one's watching.
no one's watching.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of really stopped following up with them and just let them go.
I hear you.
Yeah.
We do that a little bit too,
Yeah.
because we talk to a lot of people to have them come on the show, and some are interesting. Some we've just done their competition or someone else in the same business 2 weeks ago, so it doesn't make sense to have them, new people on, and so we'll hold them off for a while and so forth. But like you, we're trying to find the story, and
Yes.
and they all have a story. You listened a little bit to what Jeremy was doing, and to hear his
He's
success.
impressive.
He really is.
Yeah.
And I really mean it. I probably bring up his name a couple of times a year with people who are talking about starting businesses and so forth. And I said, I know someone who's done it right, and he's added businesses and so forth. And I wish I was a lot younger so I could do a lot of that. But yeah.
But you're sharing the knowledge now.
And exactly, and so forth. So now you're located across the border.
Yes,
Yeah,
I came
yeah.
clear across the border.
I know. Did you have to show ID or anything?
Actually, this time they let me through without showing ID.
Oh, good. I'm glad I called ahead. Okay, so how,
And actually, we should probably clarify that's the Idaho border.
yeah, I know. Okay, yes, I forget. Okay, you have a book. You've done several books. So this is all the
Yeah,
same, right?
yeah.
We're going to be able to give some of these
You
away
are,
too. Absolutely.
yes.
Unleash the power of tax planning. What am I going to find in here?
That is my newest book that just got
Because you've
released
done several.
a couple weeks ago. I got about 14 books out there now.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, somewhere
Okay.
around there. I kind of
You
lost
have your own
track.
library.
I do.
Okay.
But and I keep putting more books out there because it's a wonderful way for people to get to understand tax planning
Yes.
in as non-technical lingo as I can try
Yes,
to put
thank
it.
you. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Because most of us don't spend the time talking about this every day and so forth. And we need the experts out there and a resource guide, if you will. Okay, so what are some of your other books?
I've got another book called Stop Overpaying Your Taxes.
Okay.
And then we've got the 10 most expensive tax mistakes that'll cost you thousands.
Uh-oh.
That one's a little kind of long.
Yeah, no kidding.
Then I've done some multi-author books. One is Why Didn't My CPA Tell Me That? I don't know. Why didn't he tell you? He should have.
What's the difference between a CPA and a tax planner?
A CPA gets their license and they can do a wide variety of things
Okay.
that might specialize in tax.
Okay.
They might specialize in that yucky cost accounting we were talking
Yeah,
about earlier.
yeah.
They might specialize in tax resolution.
Okay.
They might specialize in being a controller of a company.
Okay.
But when you see somebody who has enrolled agent or tax coach or tax planner behind your name,
Okay.
you know that they love to play with the tax law.
Okay.
It lights me up, and I know I'm weird.
Well, I
But
was
the
going to say that,
tax
but you did, so, yeah.
It's fun to get in there and find areas and find ways that we can take what the IRS gives us.
Yes.
And be able
Make
to
it work for us.
work for you and your
Right.
business, and Jeremy and his business, and Susan and her business,
Right,
and
right.
turn it around and say, guys, if we just make these moves, if you'll just record it this way,
Right.
here's what you can get from
Wow. Okay. So, Diane, how can people get in touch with you?
The best way is go out to www.taxcoachforyou.com. That's
Okay.
taxcoach, the number 4, YOU.com.
Okay.
And they can reach out to me there, where we're happy to send them a copy of my book.
Oh,
or
nice.
we can send off our little questionnaire and set up a time for them to get on
Okay.
the phone and
if they don't
talk
get
and-
called back, it's because they're not,
Yeah, because they said can't refer me, right?
Probably so. Probably so. Well, I wish you the best the next few, I was going to say weeks, but it's really a couple of months. And then right after April 15th, there's the state stuff that has to go in. And I mean, it's just, there's never ending, is it?
Right after April 15th, we have all the payroll quarterlies that have to get filed.
Yes.
And then we get a little break till May 15th when the nonprofits are due.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I don't know how, well, it's your job to keep on track of all this, but those of us that don't deal with it every day, usually our last minute, we realize that we need to do something. And we've got to start thinking about it ahead of time.
You bet,
Because it'll
yes.
take less of our time and less of your time. And when we're paying someone to do it, less of their time is cheaper, right?
I'll let you in on a little secret.
Okay.
If it comes in early,
Yeah.
you get more of my brain power. When
Oh,
it comes
okay.
in at the very end, I'm so sleep deprived, and all the other accountants out there.
I'll bet.
They are, and we can't give it your best because you're so tired.
yeah.
But if those that come in early, they get my creative.
All right, so if you want her brain power, hey, start now, right?
Right.
When can you start sending in the stuff to the IRS? It's usually toward the middle of the end of January.
Tail
isn't
end
it?
of January.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
just released that the first date they'll accept is January 27th.
Okay. Well, and the W-2s or W-4s?
W-2s have to be out by the end of
End
January.
of January.
Yeah.
So most people aren't doing something.
And-
They might work on it ahead of time, but
Right.
yeah.
And business owners aren't pulling in quite that quick. They're usually
Yeah.
the first week or two in February.
Yeah.
And-
Great.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you again. Happy New Year to
Yes.
you and your staff, and I hope you're ready with lots of coffee and all that as you move into the season. Yeah, yeah, you're prepared.
I'm prepared.
All right, thank you,
Yes.
Diane.
You're welcome, Ken.
Hey, thanks for watching the Pulse of Spokane today. We'll have another program tomorrow, Wednesday the 8th. Have a good day.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
O'Brien Logistics would like to invite you to try our local and regional transportation services. With Sprinter vans, lift gates, hot-shot flatbeds, and expedited services, our people are ready to step in and help with your transportation needs. Our services are 24/7, 365, and we are trained and prepared to handle air cargo and Canadian shipments. Give us a call at 208-305-2311 or visit our website at o'brienlogistics.net. That's OBRIEN logistics.net.
The Pulse of Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksMedia.com, which is solely responsible for its content. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well Dressed Walrus, Spokane Firefighters Local 29, Creative Music Learning Center, and North Idaho Events. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or hear this program again on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com.